HighBridge, a division of Recorded Books, presents Bluff, Poems by Danez Smith. Read by Danez Smith. Anti-poetica. There is no poem greater than feeding someone. There is no poem wiser than kindness. There is no poem more important than being good to children. There is no poem outside love's violent potential for cruelty. There is no poem that ends grief, but nurses it toward light. There is no poem that isn't jealous of song or murals or wings. There is no poem free from money's ruin. No poem in the Capitol nor the court. Most policy rewords a devil's script. There is no poem in the law. There is no poem in the West. There is no poem in the North. Poems only live south of something meaning beneath and darkened and hot. There is no poem in the winter nor in whiteness, nor are there poems in the landlord's name. No poem to admonish the state. No poem with a key to the locks. No poem to free you. Ars America in the hold. From the stars, if the stars truly are that way back mother, if stars, then space and gas, then water, and rock and bacteria, and fish and bird, and beast and us, if us is from the stars, if the legacy of the stars led to, if the lineage of the stars led to the inspired cruelty on those ships, if the stars were born and the children of stars birthed not only a language but nations, but empires and casualties of riches and made an art of cruelty. If the babes of stars did that, those unspeakable yet done, devil blessed those things starved and blood rotted. What language don't hold true enough? Those things worse than murder, slower, murder too kind a thing to say it was. Murder better than what the docs held. If the stars gave birth to that, kill the stars, kill the mother of stars, kill all reason, kill God before he sets the ships into motion when he calls the light alive. Warriors are poets and poems and all the loveliness here in the worlds. Amiri Baraka. Here in civility, now we know the strategy of stars. June Jordan. I was born from an apocalypse and have come to tell you what I know. Franny Choi. On knowledge. Maury, I'm not the father of my thoughts. The voice who say, kill yourself, ain't got my nose. One who say poetry over wartime got one blue eye. All my family got the same good yolk, but something peckish and not ours say, ka-chain, ka-chain, ka-ching. I want to believe in my mind. But that house went spliff back in 14, year of new blood, year with 10 years and a fox inside. That year, I wanted to live, wanted us alive. They gave me money to want to live. I wanted more. I pulled the dead from clouds for a come-up, tendered violence, tenderized violence. God said, charge. My life heard credit. My career came on in elegies back. I made us media, paid the debt with my mind. Niggas fear what they don't, know what they do, lie then believe it, fear what they can't. Shoulda, coulda, would teeth and nigger teeth and Juneteenth. Niggas fear where they come. A bullet for Janisha 'cause she smiled like mama. A bullet for every door you hold no key. I fear for the nigga in me. The white in my head want him dead. The nigga scared he'll come to work blasting. The nigga in me dream, at risk of death by waking. Dream in a language before the ocean. Dream in danger. Dream exiled. Dream caged. Dream back to the fields and before the fields, fields. The nigga in me dreams while the white in me watches, scared of dreams and strapped. We ate war. War had us. War it wasn't. We were. In a boat, my mind went overboard, my mind freest amongst the sharks. They told me if I survived the ocean, I could be a coin, bred to farm, farm to breed, and farm a legacy of cotton. I could sell you movie, book, or musical. Slavery, live, the war of the boat, the belly where I abandoned my mind to survive the body. I wasn't born. I was made and added to the tally. An animal owns nothing, all meat, even the brain, even the bite. Music where my mind was, but even the blues went white. I don't know what my thoughts were away from them. Admitting my mind makes me sick, my mind shacked up with their nonsense. Free from white noise, I'd probably just chill, feed birds after washing my hands of their throats. Poetry happens, something to do with my hands that's not jail time. Why lie, though? I'm a coward. A slave to slavery. It makes me a salary. I wanted freedom and they gave me a name. It distracted me for long enough. They started building pillars at the edge of my mind. They were beautiful, so I helped them. My mind, in the field, was a field, was fled too late. Years of lovely towers in the distance, I ran to them but couldn't leave. A tower to the sky next to a tower to the sky next to a tower to the sky makes a cage. I was a prisoner of my own design, helped pattern my chain, penned my pen, and so on and so on and so on I was with my mind turned off. I, 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 I had to break out my mind to get it back. I needed to see the words in the light with shadows, check their color and fail them against the paper bag. I needed to peep my brain and the birds on it, check who they belonged to, who could eat them, who'd they'd poison, if they flew, and who'd they carry. I had to move my mind outside my body. Move my body like my mind. Move my mind deeper into the dark. Question of its use. And that's when the poems got dangerous. And that's when their hopes became tangible. And that's what you should fear. And that's me laughing in the dark with a star at my hip. And yes, it is what it looks like. I said the quiet part aloud. I rehearsed my action. Less hope. Apologies. I was part of the joy industrial complex. Told them their bodies were miracles and they ate it up. Sold someday. Made money off soon and now. Snuck an ode into the elegy. Forced the dead to smile in juke, implied America. Said destroy, but offered nary step nor tool. Paid taxes knowing where the funds go. In April, offerings to my mother's slow murder. By May, my sister filled with the bullets I bought. June, and my father's life locked in a box I built. My brother's end plotted as I spend. IDKY, I told you it would be okay. Not, won't. When they aren't killing you, they're killing someone else. Sometimes their hands at the ends of your wrist. You and me, our agent and enemy. There I was, writing anthems in a nation whose victory was my blood made visible. Mama too sugared to weep without melting. My rage fed their comfort foaming from my racial mouth. Singing gospel for a God they beat me into loving. Lord, your tomorrow holds no sway, your heaven too late. I abandon you as you did me, c'est la vie. But sweet Satan, OG dark kicked out the sky, first fallen and niggered thing, what's good? Who owns it? Where it come from? Satan, first segregation, mother of exile. What you promise in your fire. For a real freedom, I offer over their souls. Theirs. Mine's is mine's. I refuse any hell again. I've known near devils, the audience and the mirror. They make you look weak. They clapped at my eulogies. They said, encore, encore. We wanted to stop being killed, and they thanked me for beauty, and pitifully, I loved them. I thanked them. I took the awards and cashed the checks. I did the one about the boy when requested, traded their names for followers. In lieu of action, I wrote a book, edited my war cries down to prayers. Oh, devil. They gave me God and gave me clout. They took my poems and took my blades. Satan, like you did for God, I sang. I sang for my enemy, who was my God. I gave it my best. I bowed, and worse, smiled. Teach me to never bend again. It doesn't feel like a time to write. Being black feels like a lot right now. They shot a man, then they shot the people mourning the man. They shot a man while he was A, handcuffed, B, walking away, C, already dead. The terrorists, I fear, played ball with the cops, or they is the cops. I ain't got much left to give these poems. Black folks of every kind of body are dying, and yes, at our own hands too. And before you start pointing fingers, wash your blood-drunk mind. If you still say things like, we need all the info, there must be a reason, then I can't waste any more time on you. I turn to the cards, the stars, God, the gods, my sweet dead. All them say it's an age dead and walking. The last of the whiskey, the portal of sex bring me no peace. I got a fear of being black in public, and white folks were fed off to fear of me. Nigga agoraphobia has taken over the nation. They killing white babies now, and still the paid for prayers. I've never been more afraid of a white man's loneliness. In my dreams, all the black folks turn to ants, and America is a toddler stomping us out. She's so damn excited we can't get away. We die under her play all day. I'm just your average American. Too broke and late for brunch, looking for a new job and hungover, just trying to Netflix and fuck a little bit. Then you watch the news or hear the worry in mama's voice when she tell you be careful driving cause that ice is slick and the law out there thick, and she know both can lead to accident. My friends are in the streets again because again and again and so forth, and how many more. Poems feel so small right now. My little machines fail me. All I've ever wanted to say. 1, we are tired of your cancerous now. 2, until we are guilty and alive the same as you. 3, we beg for peace, but you hear fire, please. 4, what you call country, we call plague. 5, you say God, 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 but lobby his enemy's wishes. 6, you are the soul's enemy. 7, I free my we from your is and your will be. America, my burnt vanilla daddy, your lips turn into a cleaver when you kiss my neck. If a white man who murdered is allowed to be gentle, and a black girl murdered is assumed at fault, when my baby get murdered, there I go, expecting, pregnant, with knowing your nothing future and ache for bludgeoned yesterdays. It doesn't feel like a time to write when all my muses are begging for their lives. This shadow haunting me again. This shadow haunting me again. No good heifer curses the lights, monsters my arm into birds, them dark ones, small murders found between dusks, my black field where the sins root best, still calling them sins, the God I fled and savor, a mark on my language, pox of my soul, who turned my brain up this high? The squirrel is a man and two breeds of beasts before it's a squirrel. My shadow to crows, letters falling out songs. How cruel sunlight is, those keys screaming, stay! October, and the trees are on fire, dead fire under my feet when I walk. Am I the ghost? It me who quiets at the bottom of the stage? Am I what came by window seeking possession? Own what? How? Time. I win. None of my gold is real. Green loops spook each finger, ears like moldy peas, the rot brown border where each tooth meets the gum. Proof? Me expired? What if that was a stroke in the car all those years ago? What if I'm still there, shaking, dreaming? Shit dream with rent and police and diarrhea, lackluster dick, 3 soulmates and I scared them all off. Too bland to be hell, too much blood to be an eternity, and the nausea in the morning, my weak stomach and weaker will explain that. Wouldn't something alive see the pattern and redirect? Don't even the ants figure it out? Who killed me, stuffed me here, lets my nothing hands drive that car? The neighbors' prayers keep making holes in my floor. I've kept the most urgent ones out of spite. Her prayers panicked and stinking in their corner. I waited mines on the angels. Don't worry, if there's a hell below, we're all going to go. Chopped and screwed. Amongst the trillions who singe, the trillions who singe, the trillions who singe, the trillions who singe, amongst the who singe, but don't burn. Or are we sectioned off into our loudest sin, or by the sum, or do borders persist? Do I get to see Franny again? Do I get to see Franny again? Down, 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 down there, second earth, proof of the too high, not even our mothers made it. Ain't pray hard enough. If there's a hell, we all end up the devil's abundance. You not good, I never been shit. Casually wicked, a sit of sin, that's how evil I be. A zit of sin, that's how measle I be. Feel me? I voted, I agreed, I voted, I of greed. I voted, I decreed, I agreed to the kill. I'm full grown, taxes paid, I built the bomb. I bloomed the cancer field under the hood. I killed Mima. I'll apologize when we get down where she prayed the murder of me, my God. Anti-poetica. Who cares how long I've spent with my poems, those shit psalms, those rats of my soul, head first through the window, me at their ankles demanding substance, revelation, sudden gravity, shamed out my leafless, drug-shanked brain, this gray, popper-worn hell, that dark, dull circle I try to conquer beauty and the state from within. I'm not revolutionary. I'm regular. Nothing radical in being America's enemy, the country of enemies. We find our laughter between the horror. Stop asking me to explain having a body and a mind and a heart, their harmonies, their plots to murder each other. I've lived long in a low solstice, wife to a pipe in the blue-lit plain, Leo trashed, saved by occasional dick in the knowledge of my mother, friends I confess my pocked seasons only after their close, arachnid moods, self-cornered, text back weak, I haven't been much lately, the dark season lasted years, swallowing seasons, collecting itself in my shallows like a motor-sheared fish. Where did the poems go? What is their trouble? What kind of water is I? Alive. Danez, stop acting shook when black folk are alive. Quit the dream of near kill and early dirt. It's no dream. Free them boys caged in stone sonnets. You are not warden, not reaper, not the fates, not their damned mama. Alive is a thing we can be too. Look, you are not dead, and Popeyes is out of spicy. In heaven, they'd never. In heaven, even they biscuits be moist. But heaven ain't yours yet. Them biscuits dry as fuck. So God gave you honey and tea and kisses and lovers who spit in your mouth when asked. The body is the body. And inside, there's a person. Imagine that. Imagine black, devoid of death. Imagine us endless until. If they kill you, they kill you. Until then, they can't touch you, boo. We all die, even God. Don't run from death. Hide and let it seek. 4 girls playing church with a stump for a pulpit, reason enough for today. You amen passing by, auntie trapped in your deacon body. Don't mean to look like danger, but you were born Boyd. But you don't smell like run. Amen gifted right back. Heaven enough for now. You can't take your quiet for granted. 5 miles from peace there is mourning. Hunger walks by your window hourly. 2 doors over, cruelty keeps its voice down. You have to live despite despiteness. Live in the full context, not happy corners. Joy is not the antidote to suffering. It happens inside it. Flowers and jokes at the funeral. I orgasmed at gunpoint. I know joy by its distance from terror. They're the same boy. His 2 hands meeting at a neck, a garland or a noose. They wore flower crowns at the wake. What magical, worthless royalty. This what that grief do? Leaves you guilting your good days, weary of light. I wish us a near new world where we die of cancer, crashes and nobody hands, our hungers brief and gentle. Soon, we're alive there. Who won't be? Let's sing while we plot their revenge. You don't even know me. I'm hanging from a tree. You don't even know me. I'm hanging from a dream. Me, in my last life, savage, siren, wet and dream lynched. Me was good as pussy, 9 lives all murdered for my talent, at my color, my sex, whatever he killed me for, I was the best at it. Best blood-lipped dusk, best clotted sweetness, best bluing. Me, once I was born the rope, not the neck. Once I was a fire full of niggers, you know it's happened. Someone said that. Someone heard about the building candled while full of screaming little wicks and laughed. I was never that laugh. I was the hymn of nearing sirens in the dying ear announcing, not yet. Sound entering and touching the mind. I was mine once, and again in this life I'm mostly my own. Somewhere far from your knowing. Deep in a black mood, the weight of my heart making its way to my brain, carrying information, secrets, the rumor of my body, the story I tell for wealth, and the wealth is worthless. They keep killing me. Every time I'm back by summer, I crawl out the sun. Gold is useless, but in every life I have it. Look at me, up here, dangling like the poplar's hidden tongue, like my tongue. Look past the party at my feet, the children giddy for a scorched finger. Look me in what was my face, deep into the smoky pit I used to pray and kiss. Find my final, plaque-worn star. Volta. This universe my most docile and stunted. Weapons rounded into words, my work so undangerous. They untapped my phone, found no threat, the shame I felt. My oppressors fear me not, they see their chains working. Universe where I'm a match, head thrown back, laugh feeding the flame as massa screams into kindling. Teach me surprise in the middle of obedience. Give me the road to that final glee. You giggling ash, shiver I feel bowing my head on the street. And universe where I'm a late queen, Christ-locked in fat off Friday fish, rumor-robed lonely next to gray angels. I ask your late Volta, long-avoided birth, that not yet then, now, I need a new bravery. I don't want to live a coward's peace. Where's my mission? What world comes if I use my hands? Headed. Escape and travel mean the same to me. Add, took. Can't see journey and not see flee. To run to implies away. Here, pointing at left. Little fugitive, little used to slave. Where does the map end? Lil broke out, lil dip. Where is freedom's home? Little off the chain, little stole back. There is a place where your blues is not fuel, coin, unrequired, and softer. I seen it in a dream, inside a hole in one's neck, a hole I put there. Last Black American poem. Voted for the Negro twice. Twice my captor wore my face. Admit it, Danez, you loved your master in your shade. Yes, I loved knowing the color at the end of my chain matched mine. Wrong river. It wasn't chains, it was water when one of us helmed the boat. Water for our eyes, water raised to the lips of cargo, still cargo. In summer, we turned down that Jeezy, learning a new one's slain name, the helm and still, the boat, still, headed to Carolina shores. My president was black when mothers got millions in exchange for sons. Michelle's perm was perfect as bombs dropped in the middle of childhoods. We buried my grandpa with an Obama button pinned to his lapel. Finally free, we sent him to heaven, American. When he won, we sprinted Bascom Hill and danced like happy slaves at Lincoln's feet. We were happy-ass slaves, happy to vote, happy to be able to protest the killing we couldn't end, happy for health care that killed us slower, happy the gays could marry in the country where trans women vanished like snow in warm winters, happy our wars were only of the mind, only elsewhere. Forgive me. I wrote odes to presidents. 1955. 2 hours west of Egypt, over in money, that boy, and his overripe face, river wrecked, no seed, no amulet. My grandpa, 16 and singing, still small, fear steadied, years from his own violence, pulls the name from the radio, feathered and soaking. Stunned blue by the current's silk trample and keep. What a soft name. You must hum to begin him. Mama's massacred little man made maybe martyr. Mural haunting wallets. A warning tucked between nephews. His face. No face. That face. His name wounds time. His face, a knife sinking through centuries, but centuries don't fit in a year or in a boy's guiltless hands. My grandpa, before he was anyone's flinch, stood in the kitchen with crows in his chest. He was no tree. And yet, in his hands, a boy, dead enough to be an angel, too drenched to fly, my pa, a sky, stood in wait for the river to drain from wings. Where was your someone when the drowned refused flight and Mamie left his mushy mug to wind and flies, flashes and eyes? That year, Rosa utters a coordinated no, and the world takes off. Soon, my James takes a train north into another white cold kill, and that name still soggy and refuse in his hands, and all over all he touches, his daughter's, his wife's cheek, the split hogs where he is.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?